everyone got the same amount of money. Not everyone got the same type of blessing, but each was judged by what they did with what they had received, period. Hey guys, it's your girl Kin and welcome back to the channel Simply Serene Bedtime Edition. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired, but I really wanted to go ahead and record this video. I have a really great message. Let's go ahead and jump right into tonight's combo. So this particular message came from a comment that I received from one of my short videos, and I'm gonna go ahead and read this comment to you guys. Hopefully the young lady that left it does not mind that I share it. So let me go ahead and get it pulled up. So she said, I'm now actually kind of the opposite of you and now lack consistency. Along the way to date, I've lost talents and passions of moving forward with purpose, but only view myself as a living corpse, taking whatever comes. I do hope there's a good ending to my journey because I have been reaching, although without any purpose, I will drown. I must thank you for sharing and feeding my curiosity. Now, there's a lot of different nuances to that comment. I don't know this young lady well. I'm just gonna go ahead and grasp a section of what I think she was saying and run on that. So the title is, what are you doing with what's in front of you? What are you doing with what's in front of you? Ladies, you already know I'm reading Genesis, and girl, yes, I am still on Jacob and Esau. That is a long, detailed story. What tripped me out is that I felt like God was being a little picky and choosy here. Like, oh, I'm going to work through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and just bump Ishmael, bump Esau, bump you guys. You're not a part of the covenant. And I began to wrestle with God. And I was like, dang, it's kind of unfair. Like, you were basically from the womb saying Esau wasn't going to really be anything like how Jacob was going to be something. It kind of tripped me out. But as you begin to wrestle and you begin to pray, God will give you the answers. And it came to mind that he was blessed, but it wasn't in the same way that Jacob was. So let's review that. They both had Isaac as a father. So that means they were both being taught family traditions. They were both being taught about their grandfather Abraham. They were both being taught God's promises. He already had the birthright in his possession because he was the eldest. However, he traded it for a bowl of soup. So granted, yes, Esau may not have all of the opportunities and blessings over his life that Jacob had, but he had a real tangible blessing right in front of him. His failure, or that made his life course different from his brothers, wasn't ignorance. It wasn't that God didn't speak to him. It wasn't that God wasn't with him or walking with him through life. It was the indifference. It was the character. It was what he did with what he had. God holds us accountable for what we do have, not for what we don't. If you think about the story of Cain, God said to Cain, if you do what you know to do is right, if you do what you've already been taught, will you not be accepted? It's not that God was demanding Cain to bring the same type of offering that Abel was bringing. He didn't ask for him to give him what Abel had. He just said, give me what you have. Just make sure it's the best of what you have. He couldn't do that. Does that make you think talents that you may have, money and finances that you may have, that you did not properly give back to God? Also, the parable with the talents, Matthew 25:14-30. Not everyone got the same amount of money. Not everyone got the same type of blessing, but each was judged by what they did with what they had received, period. If you are not stewarding what you have, what's already in your possession, how can you expect God to bless you with more? We should not be looking at other people's lives or feeling jealous for their new car, the platform that they have to be able to speak, or the promotion that this person had. Why didn't I get what they got? Why didn't I get that opportunity? Even down to racism. Why are white supremacists this way? And why do they get this? And why do they have that? And why do black people have to struggle so hard? It's more or less with what am I doing with what God has already given me. Some of us have finances, but we go and get 2, 3, 4 ounces of weed with our money. And we wonder, oh, well, why don't I? Some of us have an opportunity to give tithes and offerings, but we don't. We spend our money on getting our lashes done. We spend money on getting our nails done and our toes done. We have things already that we can honor God with, but we choose not to. Again, what's right in front of you? Your calling, your opportunities are not going to look like everybody else's. But what you do have is time. You do know how to read. You have the Bible. You have God's word. You know how to educate yourself. Go to the library. Learn new skills. You can respond to God when He speaks to you and guides you. The test is whether you value what He's giving you, which is heavenly things. Do you value that over what the world offers you? Fun at a nightclub, temporary sex, temporary high feelings. You want to sacrifice heavenly, eternal things? You want to sacrifice that birthright for a bowl of stew? A lot of us have talents, gifts, callings, opportunities that God has placed directly in our hands. And we trade what God put in us for something that feels urgent at that moment. And thinking about myself right now and talents that I have, and I want you guys to think about your talents as well and the things that God has blessed you with. There's so many things I can do, and I make excuses. I have kids, I have this, but is that what we're gonna say to God when He asks us, what did we do with what He gave us? Oh Lord, life happened. Life just happened. We are responsible for being Christ-like to help somebody else be Christ-like. And I know that it's so hard for us in 2025, in the world that we live in, to grasp that concept that our lives are a sacrificial type of lifestyle. God is not comparing you to your sister. God's not comparing you to your friend that you see traveling around the world. God's not comparing you to your neighbor that has a Porsche and the perfect lifestyle. And all that God asks of us is, with what I placed in your hands, did you treasure it enough to use it? Did you treasure it enough to not trade it in for this temporary life? Did you treat it right? Ladies, I'm getting so tired. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great week. And until then, God bless. Bye.